Hello, and welcome back to the We Don't Wanna podcast. This is the show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes about your favorite series. We are your hosts. I am Zach, and joining me as always is my co-host. He is hiding in a puddle of his own making. It is Scotty motherfucking Westside.
Yeah, it's very damp. Currently, this puddle is just very damp, moist.
Need a towel, my guy?
Situation. I desperately need a towel. It's just not a pleasant or comfortable situation I got going on in this vicinity, in this puddle of my own making, as we have called it.
Did you wear your brown pants?
I needed to wear my yellow pants. What's going on? I need to drink more water. It's
God. You gotta hydrate,
yeah,
man. Hydrate or dihydrate.
It's all about that hydration. Yeah. We get that hydration in.
Oh man, Scotty.
Zach.
I feel like the fucking last 4 episodes we recorded, we have started off by saying, man, it's been a long time since we recorded.
Holy shit. This time it's like legit. Like normally it's just like we feel like it's been a long time when it's been like a week or two.
Yeah.
I went back and I checked the dates. I checked the schedule,
dates?
Zach. It has been like 36 days since we last recorded. It has been over a month, my guy.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So we're back, and for those of you guys listening and or watching, we did put up an episode last week, but that was recorded a month ago.
Yeah.
That was recorded like early November. we are back now to you guys as of last week. Scotty and I are back with each other. In each other.
We are gonna be rusty, I can tell you that. I mean, we're always shit, but this is just gonna be.
We're always in a puddle of our own something.
We're always literally sitting in our own excrement, but you know, sometimes are worse than others.
That's so gross. Oh man,
true.
No, it's been forever. I'm very excited to hang out and talk some Game of Thrones with my best bud.
It's been too long. I have missed it. Are everything going okay on your end, pal? Are you doing all right?
Doing all right. I mean, it's been a strange last couple months.
Yeah.
The busiest time of the absolute year. Not the inabsolute year, with work. So that's been a little challenging. It's been very demanding.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you guys who follow the socials, you guys know that we lost my grandfather a few weeks ago. That was a tough thing. Took some time off for that, which I do want to say a lot of you guys DM'd and reached out, and it's just extremely nice, and really, really, I appreciate it. And thank you guys for being so patient and understanding while we took some extra time off to kind of deal with stuff. So yeah, not trying to bring the mood down, but I do appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. So thank you guys for that. Otherwise, man, annual enrollment period, which I work in the Medicare insurance industry, just finished. So I am so fucking happy.
You're free, baby.
I can breathe now. Oh my God.
I am excited for you because I know that you have been working like nonstop, and of course on top of that you had all the the funeral arrangements and family stuff going on. It was a very busy time for you. It's a busy time of year for me, not to your extent as well, but obviously Black Friday and all that stuff. So we do it for sure. Like, I want to echo what Zach said. We thank everybody for kind of bearing with us. I think we missed a couple weeks at least of the podcast going up. When we were so far ahead for so long, which was nice, but that buffer went away real quick.
For those of you guys who don't know, we usually store about 4-5 episodes in the bank. And
life comes at you fast.
Not today, man.
That shit did not last. But
this episode goes up on Friday.
Hell yeah, we're gonna get ahead in the future sometime, maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for understanding and all the well wishes, like Zach said. And we're back. I won't say better than ever because I don't want to lie to you guys, but we're gonna do our best. We're gonna give her the old college try. That's for sure.
We're gonna give her the old college try, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
You and I get to hang out with each other next week.
That's true. So we probably won't be recording again.
I mean, no, yeah, you're probably right. We're not gonna fucking hang out and record. No.
Oh no.
We're gonna hang out and touch tips. That's what we're doing.
I just showed you what kind of situation I got going on in here in my recording studio. Do you think I can fit another fucking person in here? True. If only the people knew what was lurking just off camera.
I don't think they want to know, my guy.
Spoiler alert, it's my excrement.
It's your puddle.
It's my puddle.
Oh my god. Man, other than the end of the year craziness, man, how are you doing? Anything you've been up to?
I think I'm doing good. I'm sure there's been a lot that's happened in the month plus that we haven't recorded, but I can't absolutely remember.
Your memory is absolute.
My memory is absolute
piss.
Horse garbage. But I am glad to be back recording with you again, buddy. I did miss it. I had a very weird nostalgia lately for doing the Harry Potter series with you. And I was thinking boy, I should ask. That was a fun time because it was new for me. And I was like, I need to ask Zach if there are any other series that he has strong nostalgia for that are good but also kind of shit, so I have plenty of room to make fun of them that we could do, because that was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. I mean, I'm gonna say this here now because you're saying it and you're gonna be pissed off at me.
No.
But the people are gonna hear this. We still need to do Avatar: The Last Airbender. Scotty Westside has not seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it is renowned. And it's short. It's not even long. It's like 60 episodes or something like that. It's short as hell.
You also, I've heard that one before. I won't fall for that game again.
No, you can actually verify.
But you told
the
me.
Length. You can verify the length. Actually.
Maybe 20-ish episodes of Harry Potter. I don't know. Who could say? Anyway.
I mean, it just grew into something else,
That thing
grew
mutated.
into something else.
That thing fucking mutated. Took some blue chew.
It's a grower, not a shower, man.
A grower, not a Indeed. Anyway, like I said, I'm just happy to be back and doing this with you again because it is fun. We are going to have fun talking about Season 5, Episode 2, The House of Black and White. Why don't you take us away here, pal? Let's jump into this recap.
So we begin with Arya's arrival in the port city of Braavos, where the ship captain drops her off at the House of Black and White. An old man answers the door, and Arya shows him the coin and says she's looking for Jaqen H'ghar. The old man says that there is no one here by that name and to go away. Arya does not go away immediately and just hangs out on the stoop reciting her list of names for a while before she eventually gets fed up, tosses the coin into the sea, and leaves. Somewhere at a random inn, Pod spots Sansa and Littlefinger having a bite to eat. Brienne tries to swear her sword to Sansa, but after Littlefinger calls Brienne on her fluid loyalties, Sansa refuses her. Brienne has a tussle with Littlefinger's guards, and there's a horse chase, and Pod falls into the river and throws a rock at a dude. Legend. And then Brienne saves Pod by killing the absolute shit out of a few other dudes.
True.
Pod points out that neither of the Stark girls have wanted Brienne's protection, so maybe she is released from her vow. But Brienne is very stubborn and says Sansa is not safe with Littlefinger. In King's Landing, Cersei has received a message from Dorne threatening her daughter Myrcella. Understandably, she's not too happy about this and calls out Jaime for never being a father to their children and not protecting them from danger. Jaime tells her he's going to Jason Bourne his way into Dorne. Hey, got bars.
Hell yeah.
And steal Myrcella and bring her home. For this little adventure, Jaime recruits Bronn of the Blackwater and just looks so goddamn good while doing it.
Oh, my
That
God.
is the absolute truth. Is this where you're picking it up, Scotty?
No, one more.
No, I got to read this one too? Alrighty. Hey, I'm still going to keep talking. Meanwhile...
Rusty. Just a little bit rusty.
Yeah. I know you said you were going to pick up at an M word, and it's...
Yeah.
Meanwhile...
we never did this shit before, also.
Yeah. Meanwhile in Dorne, Ilaria Sand is big mad that Dorne Martell Oberyn's brother and ruler of Dorne does not want to go to war to avenge his brother. Ellaria wants to mutilate Myrcella and send her to Cersei piece by piece, so she's obviously dealing with Oberyn's death very well.
Very well.
She needs therapy.
Yeah, big time.
Dorne is adamantly against all of this nonsense, so Ellaria calls how long he will be. What? Oh, I see what you're saying here, Scott. So Ellaria calls how long he will continue ruling into question. Fuck
to be
me.
fair, as I was reading that question along with you, I was also very confused where I was going with that. In Meereen, I'm a great writer.
There's the M word.
Yeah,
Meereen.
there's the M word. Dario 2.0 captures the son of the Harpy, and Dany's council argues over what is to be done with him. The freedmen want him to be executed, but Barristan argues for a trial. He tells Daenerys that her enemies did not lie and that her father was indeed a crazy ass fucker. Not a crazy ass fucker, a crazy, ass, fucker. Yes.
That would be me.
Who burned men alive and did all kinds of shitty things.
Same. Just the shitty things.
Yeah, just the shitty things.
Because I'm an ass fucker.
She claims she's not like her father and agrees to not execute the prisoner without a fair trial. Back in King's Landing, Cersei is attempting to control and manipulate the small council, but Uncle Kevin with an A is not having it. He says the king should be learning and ruling more himself, and then if the king truly needs him, Kevin with an A will be waiting at Casterly Rock. At the Wall, Shireen is teaching Gilly how to read, because apparently Sam is a bad teacher. We learn a bit more about Grayscale and that Shireen's mother is still a real bitch to her. Stannis is mad at Jon because he mercy killed Mance Rayder, and Jon tells him that the wildlings will never follow him, only one of their own. Apparently no one wants to follow Stannis, though, because we learned that little Lyanna Mormont is also a baller.
Name drop,
Lyanna Mormont, hell yeah. Davos says that Sir Alliser is most likely to be elected as the new Lord Commander, which will make life miserable for Jon. Stannis offers to make him Jon Stark, Lord of Winterfell, if he delivers the northern houses to his cause. Jon tells Sam that even though it's always been something he's greatly wanted, he will not break his vows to the Night's Watch and is going to refuse Stannis. The Night's Watch holds their election for Lord Commander, and Sam makes an impassioned speech for a surprise candidate, Jon Snow. He also absolutely incinerates Janos Slynt while he's at it, and it's just fucking amazing. They vote, and Maester Aemon's vote breaks the tie in Jon's favor, making him the new Lord Commander. Back in Braavos, Arya be doing what she does, mainly killing pigeons and threatening to kill groups of men twice her size. The men run when they see the old man from the House of Black and White, and she asks him who he is. He tosses her back her coin and reveals himself to be Jaqen H'ghar, but also is like, yeah, that's not my name, though, because I'm technically no one. I'm cool like that. Arya enters the House of Black and White with him. Back in Meereen, the freedmen break into the dungeons and kill the imprisoned son of the Harpy. Their leader tells Dany he did it for her, but she says the law is the law and has him publicly executed for his crime. A riot breaks out between the former masters and former slaves, and the Unsullied get Daenerys out of there. That night, Daenerys sees Drogon just chilling on top of the pyramid and reaches out to him. He's like, "Sup, mom, peace, I'm out," and flies off.
Yeah, he's definitely in his angsty teenage years.
He's so into those angsty teenage years, and that is kind of very oddly where this episode, season 5, episode 2, ends.
Yeah,
it's
a little strange.
It's a very strange place to end the episode, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big time cliffhanger of Drogon flying away for sure. For sure. Oh boy,
this isn't a bad episode. I mean, it's an okay episode. Overall, I mean,
it's kind of just whatever, I guess. Look,
Scott and I haven't hid, or I guess it's no surprise to those of you guys who have been following along, how we perceive most of season 5. And it's just a little slow. It's just a little, just kind of drags.
Yeah. And I know we discussed last time about how like just the writing doesn't seem as sharp. Like especially in like the conversations, the quiet moments that we talk about a lot. But also like, and I know I have this feeling going forward. Not that I've watched the next episode, but like between this one and the next one, like there's some like editing choices that I'm just like not like, for example, like ending the episode here is just kind of, it just feels like, oh, that's where we're ending.
Should have ended with Jon being named Lord Commander.
Yes. And I feel there's just some weird editing choices as well, but not to be too negative about it. Let's jump in here, because I am happy to see Arya again. Arya was not in the first episode of the season.
Yes.
And we get to see her again, arriving at Braavos, and Braavos looks cool as hell.
Braavos looks fantastic. And also, I was very, I guess I couldn't really tell you exactly what it was, but I became very aware of how good this like entrance looked.
Yeah.
It looked sharp. The color
nice.
looked very good. There's actually, as I'm talking through it, I wonder if it's just because we haven't spent much time in Braavos, and I know that Game of Thrones does like color grading like for each area of the world that you're in. So I wonder if this is just like a newer, fresher look.
Could be, yeah.
But there was something about this scene in particular, or like this section in particular, that I was like, oh damn, this looks really crisp. It looks really good.
Braavos looks cool. I think the Titan, you know, the big,
it's so cool.
The big like statue that like guards the entrance to the harbor is just a very cool, like wonder of the world inspired, you know, cool thing. And like I said, more than anything, I was just happy to see Arya again, because we did not get her in season 5, episode 1. And yeah, she rocks up to the house in black and white, and I think she thinks she's just like good to go. Hey, I'm here to become a faceless man. I'm here to become a sick ass assassin, and just doesn't go that way right away.
Dude, ass assassin was my nickname in high school.
True, false. Actually, big time false.
Yeah, big time false.
Big time false.
Yeah, so it's like there's so much wonder and intrigue in this Arya storyline. And
that kind of fizzles out.
It immediately is like, well, I guess maybe I might be getting a little ahead of myself, because in this episode there's still mostly wonder, because you don't know what the fuck is going to be inside,
and you don't see what's inside yet. Right, exactly.
But yeah, I guess let's just say that there's a lot of intrigue and wonder, and at this point, it's very much like, ooh, I'm excited about this. So, like, what is Arya gonna do? Everybody loves Arya.
Yeah, true.
So it's like, it's very much like, give me more. So good for this episode,
for sure. And I'm feeling that like, just like, that's a dogpile on season 5 anymore, but like, I feel like there's just a lot of stalling in this season. Like, specifically here with Arya, like, she starts the episode going to the doors of the house in black and white, and at the end of the episode gets in the doors of the house in black and white. And what changed between the beginning and the end? Basically nothing. She sat there in the rain for a minute saying her names, and then left, and that was kind of pointless.
Maybe you just don't know the rules of the House of Black and White.
I guess not. And then like the guy just comes and finds her, and she follows him back, and then he reveals himself, and it's just like, what was the point of this other than just to like build mystery and excitement? And I don't know. It's just, it seems like stalling, and it just seems like that hasn't really been a thing in Game of Thrones up until this point.
You know, I feel like that is a very good way to describe what is happening. Because I know that my very first time watching Game of Thrones, I mean, I I would like to consider myself a pretty adept like television watcher, but I definitely was not watching with as much intention as like I have as I've rewatched it, all these times.
Sure.
But even the first time, I definitely knew that something felt like off, and I couldn't really like articulate it because I don't know that I was like, being so critical or analyzing like what exactly, like what decisions were being made in the show. And I feel like for those of you all who are following along the pod and watching Game of Thrones for the first time, or revisiting it for the first time, I have a sneaking suspicion that many people will probably agree with that. Because again, even the first time I watched, I definitely felt that. I just didn't know exactly what it was I was feeling.
Right. Yeah, and it's not just here with Arya. I feel like there's a lot of places where it's just like, oh, we're just stalling, basically. But I mean, listen, it's not all terrible. The Pod and Brienne and Sansa and Littlefinger stuff. So Brienne is now 0 for 2. Start girls.
It's so funny that like she's probably the most loyal and in probably the top 5 most honorable people in this show because we get to see things through her eyes. But she just takes
no one trusts her.
A fucking beating when it comes to her moral like self. Like everybody just questions her.
Yeah. Like listen, everything Littlefinger says here to like
it's true.
Sway Sansa is all true. It's all true. She has kind of hopped around a bit from loyalty to loyalty. And listen, like, if you know the story behind it, it's like pretty legit. But like from an outside perspective of just knowing like, hey, you served Renly and then you served Catelyn Stark and now you're quote unquote
and now
serving,
they're both dead.
Yeah, well, and now you're quote unquote serving the Lannisters.
Serving?
It's just not a good look. That especially was not a good look.
No, I would disagree.
So yeah, Sansa's like, I think I'm good. She doesn't quite have the savagery that Arya had at the end of season 4 with denying Brienne. But then this horse chase and fight scene, I'm just like, what are we doing? Like we just need an action scene here, huh? Is that what's happening?
I mean, look, to be fair, this episode needed an action scene, okay?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So they did identify the problem. Just was this really it? I don't know.
We gotta have
the answer? I don't
Pod
know.
Throwing rocks. That's number one on my list for action scenes.
God damn, dude, it's so good. I was going to say though, dude, there is a one particular kind of savagery that Sansa Stark displays really throughout all of season 5, man. She looks so fucking good.
That's savagery?
Oh yeah, she is slaying.
Okay.
If you will. I love the dark hair.
No, yeah, she does look good with the dark hair for sure.
And then she keeps wearing these like outfits where like it goes up her neck and she's like
high collar.
Fucking hot as shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
That's all you're gonna say.
I don't know what you want me to say. She looks good.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I like
fucking cool guy over here.
High collars. High collars are so hot right now.
She just looks like she'd like beat my ass and I'd be okay with it.
That's true, actually. But it doesn't take much to beat your ass. Pod could beat your ass, and Pod's out here chucking rocks at nights.
Yeah. Yo, how lame was it when Pod throws the rock that the guy goes, I guess that means you're unarmed.
Yeah, that's that's my guy. That's my fucking guy right
Dude, that line was taken out of Kung Pao, dude.
I think that's why I love it. That's my fucking dude.
I guess that means you're
unarmed. What a baller, only to immediately get his fucking head chopped off by Brienne or something.
Fuck,
but to Brienne's point, when I love how Pod is like, yo, can you like be reasonable? Like both, you're literally 0 for 2 on Stark girls now. Like, does that not release you from your vow? And you know what? Listen, we give Brienne plenty of shit, but to her credit, she's like, do you think Sansa is safe with Littlefinger of all people? Pod's like, yeah, no, probably not.
You right.
You right, no, you right.
You right.
So credit to Brienne for calling that out, and they're gonna follow them. So that's that scene. Anything else you have on that?
No,
Okay.
that scene is. I rewatched this episode today, and I could have forgotten all about that scene.
See, I watched this episode like a month ago because I thought we were going to record, and I remember some things. Notes are hard carrying over here.
So we go back to King's Landing.
Yeah. I do actually like this scene. There's some good stuff.
Some good stuff. Are you talking about Jaime, Cersei?
Yeah. Both. They're both fine. They're both pretty good. They're both not bad.
Oh, okay. What scene in particular are you talking about?
Well, I was Jaime and Cersei and Bronn and Jaime. I was just thinking of.
Yeah, I do like the Bronn and Jaime stuff. I mean, but how can you not?
True.
He
looks so hot.
I mean,
me and Lawless both know it too. Lawless, Bronn, everyone knows how hot he looks. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's looking fine in that leather.
So I just have one simple note of most of the King's Landing stuff. My note says, "Oh no, the start of the Dorne storyline begins."
Well, there is that.
Fuck.
Yeah. You're not wrong about that. The positive I took out of this is I do like this, and bear with me because I'm trying to remember it, but doesn't like Cersei like call out Jaime for like, you've never acted like a father to them.
Yeah.
Why start now?
Yeah, and he responds by saying like, if I'd acted like a father, they'd be fucking stoned in the streets.
Right.
Like,
and I liked that Jaime's like, yeah, I literally couldn't. They'd be dead if I ever acted like a father for them. But if it makes you feel better, I'm going to go save our daughter, basically.
Yeah.
But then he goes to get Bronn because this is a sneaking mission. This is some Metal Gear Solid shit.
Before he goes to get Bronn, there's a little cheeky like action movie line.
Yeah, it's very lame.
It's so late. She's like a one-armed man going into Dorne alone, and like the camera pans, and he's like, "Who said anything about going alone?"
Dun 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 dun,
dude.
Dun dun
So
dun dun dun.
corny, dude.
I don't know why I did.
And then
Terminator
explosions.
music. Yeah. Coming this fall. Yeah, no, okay, listen. For all the shit we have and are going to give the Dorne storyline, it still has Bronn.
It has Bronn and Jaime together, which
Yes.
is the only redeeming quality.
100%. And Bronn is my fucking goat for always and forever. The dude's so funny. He is just literally out here openly planning Lawless's sister's death. And like Lawless is just like so clueless she doesn't even understand.
Yeah,
that
dude.
Bronn's just like, yeah, listen, ladies die all the time. Like, I'm just saying anything could happen. And it's just very, very funny. And then like obviously Lawless sees Jaime and is just like making googly eyes at him, and Bronn is just like, what the fuck do you want from me? Like, I know this is not gonna be good for me, so why don't you just pull my pants down and get it over with?
He goes, she's like, who's that? And he goes, that's Jaime fucking Lannister.
Jaime fucking Lannister. I love Bronn. Bronn's so fucking good.
Dude.
Listen,
yeah, instant dampness though in Lawless.
Oh my God,
britches,
yes.
though.
And my britches. And it's not the earlier puddle.
No, there's
that we discussed.
there's an explanation for that.
Yeah, there's a different puddle for that one. But yes, listen, at this point, Bronn was more or less written out of the books, and he's a fan favorite, so you have to keep him in here. So they have to kind of invent this storyline. And listen, it is, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Does this storyline not happen in the books?
No.
Jaime doesn't go to Dorne in the books?
No. Definitely not. Jaime is nowhere near Dorne in the books.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Where's Jaime?
This is where things like into season 5 is where things like take a right angle turn from the books. Jaime's in the Riverlands, bro. Jaime goes north. to the
Weird.
Riverlands. Yeah. And Bronn is basically not
to
in the
fight
books anymore at that
to
point.
do what?
Yeah, more or less to like calm down the fighting in the Riverlands. He's with his army and stuff. Anywhere, this is not Scott's book podcast as much as I want it to be sometimes. But yes, again, I'm always happy to get Bronn, and especially Bronn and Jaime stuff. So we will give this storyline plenty of shit, but they are the saving grace of it. They are fun as hell together.
Yeah. So then like it switches over to Dorne,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and we get this conversation between Ilaria Sand and Doran. What the fuck is his name?
Martell.
Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray. Yes, let's call him Dorian Gray. New character just introduced to us. This is the Red Viper's brother.
Wait, isn't Dorian Gray the person from 50 Shades of Grey?
No, well, maybe. Dorian Gray is like a vampire or something. He's like a Marvel. He's like a DC character.
What?
He's like a comic book character. Yeah,
I thought he was like a bondage-loving fucking sex guy.
He might be, but I just remember there's a Dorian Gray in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He might be a literature guy, but not. And listen, I'm not calling 50 Shades of Grey literature. Please believe me, like classic literature. We're gonna get absolutely fucking roasted for this one. Doran Martell.
We're all over here like, hey, we love media, we love fiction, we love
how educated we are. We are fucking A+ #1 over here. Who the fuck is Dorian Gray?
I'm pretty sure Dorian Gray is the guy from 50 Shades of Grey.
It's 50 Shades of Fisty in my
dude.
book,
oh my god,
forever. Shouts to Jake. Anyway, Doran is like, listen, I'm not gonna drag my people into war. You're kind of a crazy revenge psychopath bitch.
Yes.
And listen, you were very close to my brother, so I'm not gonna arrest you or have you killed, but I probably should. And that's kind of what happens in this scene.
I do want to say, or I want to ask, need to put out a little shit for our listeners and viewers.
I already did that at the beginning of the episode.
You fucking idiot. Is there anybody listening or watching who stands hard for Ilaria Sand?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Doran because, yes, I stand for
No, Doran's fine.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who's like, yo, favorite character, top 5 character, Ilaria Sand, that's my girl.
Okay.
I need to meet you, and we need to have a conversation about this.
Not even just
what
that.
What the fuck?
Just like, it doesn't have to be top 5 characters. Just like, do you care about or like this character at all?
Yeah, she's terrible.
Yeah, listen. Let's
most other than Doran and Oberyn, most of the people in Dorne in this show are fucking terrible.
Yeah, listen, that's what I was about to say. We haven't even gotten to the fucking sand snakes yet. I legitimately cannot wait for that scene. I'm gonna have so much fun with Obara Sand. That'll be good shit.
Hey, this is supposed to be spoiler free, Scotty.
Yeah, sorry. So we go to Meereen. Dario is like, I'm so cool posting with fucking Grey Worm. Like, look at me, like, just jam my knife into this wall behind me. I'm so fucking sick. I found this guy.
This scene could be reskinned in like a Fast and the Furious scene. Dude, it's so fucking cringy.
It's so bad.
It's so bad, dude. What is it? Like,
I don't know what's happening.
Look, I will never stop loving Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But there are some choices made in this season.
Oh my god.
Part of the fun is picking it apart, right?
True.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
We love to do that. That scene is very, very dumb. The council scene, however, I think is good.
Yes.
It's, listen, that's a tough ass dilemma. Obviously the freedmen on her council are just like, yeah, bro, kill them all. Like, fuck them. All the shit they did to us. Valid. You know what? I totally get where that sentiment is coming from.
Yes.
Barristan, however, is like, nah. Justice, trial, etc., etc. Dany does not seem to be wanting to go that way, and this is where Barristan basically is like, hey, you know how you think your enemies lied about what a crazy asshole your father was? Yeah, those weren't lies. That's all true. Like, he was the worst.
Yeah.
Which I like this moment.
I'm so glad that and I really can't recall. Again, it's been so long since I've read, and again, I've only read the first 3 books, but I can't recall if Barristan kind of plays that role, but I'm so glad he does here.
Yes.
Um
He
like
more or less does, yeah, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. It's really like Barristan's, I think, a very easily like likable character already. Um and then when you feel the way that we feel about Daenerys, it's just nice to have somebody just kind of be a little bit more grounded and speaking sense to her, who's not also trying to fuck her like Jorah. You know, like,
true. Then
like
that's a
I
good
genuinely
distinction.
like
Yeah.
Barristan's counsel to her. I think it's great.
He has very, very pure motivations, for the most part. Like, a lot of it is, he's seeking for his own redemption. I think he feels too. But yeah, Barristan is literally like the fucking angel on her shoulder through like so many like episodes here. And this is a good moment where he's just like, I gotta be honest with you, like, your father fucking sucked, and I don't want to see you go down that same path. And good on you, Barristan, for calling that out.
It's a hard conversation to have to somebody who's an absolute fucking psychopath like Daenerys. So good for him.
And listen, she listens to him, to her credit, and she's like, I'm not gonna be like that, and I will have a trial for this guy. Good thing that went so smooth.
It went swimmingly.
Yes. We might as well just talk about that now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should we just finish Meereen, get that shit out of the way?
Very shades of like what happened with Robb Stark, where they just break in and kill the prisoner, basically.
Yes.
Reminds me a lot of that, and then Daenerys has to execute him, just like Robb had to execute.
You think
Lord
it's
Karstark.
an intentional parallel, or is it a recycled?
Could be. No, it's intentional. I'm sure.
Okay. You sure?
Maybe.
Anyway, it's a decent, again, credit where it's due. It's a decent showing of growth, I feel like, in Dany, which is needed.
Yes.
Especially for people who are extremely critical on her, like you and I are, as everybody else should be. Let me just enforce my fucking opinion on you all. But it's a very needed, I guess, scene for her, because she is, especially going into season 5, she is just stagnant as fuck.
Yes, for sure.
So yeah, it's decent. Obviously, this shit does not work out. But I am glad that she makes a decision to hold people to justice. Like,
agreed.
And
she listens to her counselors for like once in her damn life.
Yes, yeah, and there definitely are people who would have a strong argument of like, no, man, like, this guy deserves to die, which sure.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't disagree with that. But
and
I
that
just think
probably would have been the outcome of the trial.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
but
Yes.
you can't, like, there has to be rules, it can't just be anarchy. Like,
right.
That's Batman, like, justice into his own hands, vigilante shit.
Yeah.
Which Batman rules, but that's neither here nor there. Don't listen to what I said.
Anything else you want to say there?
No, let's hit this last King's Landing thing before we finish off with the wall.
With the good stuff?
Yeah. I love Uncle Kevin with an A.
I also love Mace, dude.
Oh, yeah, I mean, dude. Is this the scene, remind me, is this where he's like, I was told I would be master of shit? No, that's
no,
that's season 4, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is where Cersei is essentially saying, like, we're going to need a hand of the king.
Oh, right.
And Mace is like, well, well, I, like would be honored or whatever. And she's like, no,
Yeah.
fuck no. And he gets real sad. And then she's like, but you've been named Master of
Mhm.
Coin or whatever that, like,
He's like,
whatever the fuck. And he's like, oh,
yeah,
oh. Like,
I'm fucking hot shit.
dude, he's such an idiot, man. And she
Mace.
just plays him like a goddamn fiddle,
Yeah.
gives him some fake compliments, and he's
Oh my
like
God.
on another world because of it. It's very, very funny.
Shouts to my guy Mace. That
But
dude's
she
so
cannot
funny.
do the same thing to Uncle Kevin with an A.
No, Uncle Kevin with an A, has spent a lot of time with Tywin Lannister, and while he does not have the leadership capability that Tywin Lannister does, he has much more of his mind,
Yes.
and sees through this immediately.
Yeah.
I love how he's like, the king should be here. The king should be doing this shit, like learning. Like,
Yes.
where the fuck is he?
Absolutely. Agreed.
And yeah, he's absolutely right. And shouts to him for not being a part of this dog and pony show that Cersei is trying to just like stack the small council. And he's like, yeah, if the king needs me, not you, bitch, I will be at Casterly Rock. And it's just like, peace out. And hell yeah, Kevin with an A. That's my dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think at some point he essentially says like by what right does the Queen Mother
Yes.
have
Yep.
like to tell me what my business is? Like,
Mhm.
you don't fucking rule over me.
Right. It's good stuff.
very
He's absolutely right. Cersei is trying to manipulate and control like she does. And most of them are just dancing along to it, but Kevin with an A, not so much. He is out of here.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to it's just a little farther down in my notes, and I think we kind of already finished talking about Bravos.
Mm-hmm.
But really quickly before we get to the wall stuff, when Arya is about to get like mugged
Mm-hmm.
and she faces off against those three guys, she hits them with. So he's like, that's at least worth 100, whatever. Like he's talking about her sword.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
likes
yeah.
her sword,
This is
and
good,
she
yeah,
hits him
line.
with the nothing's worth anything to dead men.
Yes.
And I'm like, Arya, let's go, man.
She fucking owns.
It's so good. And I need to have a little humility here because I understand that some of this is simply because it's coming from Arya and I love Arya.
True.
But we did just recently talk about how this season and a lot of the dialogue moving forward, spoiler alert, becomes a little bit more like punchy. Like the idea is to be edgy and hit like a one-liner that's like, ooh. But this works because this is something she would say regardless.
Right.
This is something
Also,
she would have said in season 2.
This is like way more subtle. Yeah, it's like the subtlety of this, and it's not,
very.
it's not as
hound.
quippy. Yeah. It's like cold and calculated, less or more so than like it is quippy.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so good though.
That is a
man.
good
I love
line.
Arya.
She's stone cold killer, and I love her to death. Even when like this storyline is like kind of stalling, like I said, I feel like it is like Arya's still cool as hell. So
Oh yeah.
anyway,
Definitely. Okay.
the wall stuff.
It's the best stuff in this
hard
episode.
carrying early season 5 IMO.
Yes.
This is just a fun, good interaction between like Shireen, Gilly, and Sam. I feel bad for my dude Davos, just out here catching strays from Shireen. She just straight up calls him old at some point. And I'm like, yo, he's not even here to defend himself, man. Like, why you gotta be calling Davos old, dude?
That's so funny.
Which is very, very good. But they're also setting up this grayscale storyline. They're really trying to make it stick in our brain. Hey, grayscale, stone men. Remember this.
Yeah.
Exposition. Which is fine. It's needed.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it's fine. So we get the scene with Jon and Stannis first, right? Before the election?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because that's very key. That's important, and I do want to talk about that. Stannis offers to make him obviously Jon Stark, Lord of Winterfell, and he specifically tells Sam, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to turn him down. before he gets elected as Lord Commander, which I
Yes.
think is very important and says a lot about who Jon is and where his priorities lie, rather than it being, like, oh, well, he gets voted as Lord Commander, so that's an easier turn down.
Right. I
So,
mean, yeah, he was fully expecting to have to face some bullshit
yes,
with Alistair Thorne being elected.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like
and he was
that's
just like, it's what it's.
that's part of Stannis's pitch. Even like Stannis and Davos's pitch is like, hey, everyone says Alistair Thorne's gonna get elected. He doesn't like you. Your life's gonna suck ass, basically. So
Yeah.
yes, big key point. And shouts to Jon. But yeah, go ahead. You were saying about Stannis.
Just the scenes with Jon and Stannis have been consistently good. And
Mhm.
although I'm glad this is essentially the last one of them, in this fashion.
Sure.
Because it's been done a few times already now, but
Right,
they've all
right.
been fantastic.
Agreed.
And this is no exception. And as most people, I understand that there are people who watch Game of Thrones who don't like Jon, or who just maybe feel like he's a little boring, or like one note, which I can understand the argument, although I don't agree. I love Jon. You can't help but root for the guy.
Yeah.
He has that type of, just that presence where you're rooting for him. So you hear that Stannis is willing to make him a Stark, and you can see, kudos to Kit Harington's acting here. You can see the emotion in his face, and just in his overall demeanor of what that means to him.
Mm-hmm.
And you're almost like, oh man, like you want it to happen.
Yes.
Uh,
Like
and
he specifically tells Sam later when he's talking to him, like, it's all I ever wanted and dreamed about, being
it's the first thing
Jon
I ever
Stark.
wanted.
Right. Like, since I was, basically a kid. Like,
Yeah.
he dreamed that his father, Ned, would like go to the king and ask him to like legitimize him, and like man, that's, to turn that down is,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
something, Jon. Like,
It really is
holy hell.
something. And I think what, like, the sentiment that I was, I guess, going for here is that, like, you're rooting for him, you almost want it to happen. In the back of your head, you almost know it's not going to,
Right.
because it's just not true to Jon's character, and you know that.
Right. It's too good to be
Right.
true also, yeah.
But as a watcher, and as me as a fan of Jon, when he says I'm going to turn it down, you almost feel like a defeated, like, oh
Yeah.
man, like,
Yeah.
damn. And it's just good. Like, this is where, this show can continue to be great, even in a season that you and I tend to be a little bit more negative on. Is that you still feel these things for the characters
Yes.
that you're tied to.
For sure.
And yeah, so very, very well done there. And I love Jon, and I love Sam.
Love
much.
Jon. Love Sam. Oh my God. This speech he makes. First of all, big shouts to the guy who stands up and speaks for is it Bowen Marsh, right? Is the third candidate,
No,
basically.
it's not Bowen Marsh. It's
No, you're right. It's
I don't remember his
I
name.
can't even remember the name. But
No.
that super old ass looking dude.
Yeah, he's just like
that dude is like literally falling asleep on the bench as they're like taking this election.
Yeah.
Shouts to that guy for shouting out his mans. Had no shot whatsoever. But boy howdy, when Sam goes in, does he go in hard.
Yes. And he's found his voice and his his stride so much better. It's great, man.
I took this whole section down here, and I have to read it verbatim.
Okay,
because it's like Sam insults Janos, and you think he's done, and then he's got another one in the chamber, and then he just keeps going like 4 more times. It's so good. Because Janos is like, oh, something about your wildling whore, blah, blah, blah. And Sam goes, her name is Gilly. Brother Slint knows her quite well. They cower together in the larder during the battle for the wall, and everyone gets a good chuckle, and you think it's over. And Sam's like, nah, I got you. A wildling girl, a baby, and Lord Janos. Another big chuckle. Oh, it's over. Nope. I found him there after the battle was over in a puddle of his own making. Whilst Lord Janos was hiding with the women and children, Jon Snow was leading. And I'm like, fatality. This is just absolutely evisceration of Janos Slynt. It's fucking amazing. He gets everyone on his side and Jon's side in one fell swoop. I also love how Jon is like against it. Like when Sam stands up to speak, like Jon sees this coming. It's like, don't you fuck Sam? Oh, god damn it, Sam.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I love
it.
Sam.
It is good stuff. And I have a note specifically that's like, everybody loves a leader who doesn't ask to be a leader. Sure. I mean that, and that is Jon. You know, true. Through and through, that is Jon.
Yep.
He's just doing what he feels is right, and he's almost kind of thrust into this position. I was gonna make a bad joke, and he just does the damn thing, and he's great at it.
Yep.
Because it's just who he is. So you gotta love 100%. That, man. How can you not root for that?
Like Sam says, like during the battle for the wall, he gives Sir Alistair his props, where he's like, yeah, like listen, Sir Alistair was a good leader, but he got wounded and had to pull back, and you know who stepped the fuck up when there was no one else? Jon goddamn Snow.
Defeated the leader of the Thens.
Yep. He should have thrown in there, by the way, I killed a Thenn too. Also, cool. I'm cool like that. I love how, like, even I meant to say, even Maester Aemon gets a good chuckle out of Sam's evisceration of Janos Slynt. Maester Aemon's like, nah.
He's like,
love Maester Aemon so much. But this is great stuff. Like you mentioned earlier, but shouts to Kit Harington again. Like, I love the look on his face when like he wins, he ends up winning, and like the people, like his brothers, start to swarm him. There's like this like mixture of like disbelief and like almost like fear, but like excitement, like
and
on his
joy.
face.
It's a very interesting. I noticed the same thing, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good call out.
It's very, very good stuff, and that's where this episode should have ended. Because that's much more.
That's where we're gonna end the podcast.
That's a much more exciting and impressive development than hey, Drogon's chilling on top of the pyramid.
I don't know. I feel like that. I really kind of feel okay. So like, I agree that like editing wise, it was a weird choice.
Yeah.
Like for this to be the scene where we find Drogon again, but I think part of it is our bias because we don't really give a shit about Dany or the dragons. There's a lot of people who like are obsessed with the dragons.
That's true.
And it's like, oh, I haven't seen him in, and, you know, and at this point,
I haven't seen him in.
Well, that was me busting.
No, I know. So I knew exactly.
That was me making a puddle.
Thank you for explaining. No, you're right, though. You're right.
And at this point, too, it's the second episode of the season, so
they have to remind us
show watchers that
there's
like
still dragons in this show.
Yeah, well, yes, but also like for people who were watching at the time of it coming out, I mean, they waited a year and a half, and they're like, finally, I see a dragon, and he's giant, you know, obviously compared to the last time we saw him. So, like, I get
That's
it.
True.
It's cool. It can be exciting, or it can be an exciting development. But this is just kind of a strange scene.
It is kind
to, like,
of just
give
a
that
strange
to us.
scene. I really feel like it was just like, hey, we have to like show a dragon. Like,
and if we do it in the dark, the CGI doesn't have to be as good.
Yes, true. Way cheaper.
So we could save a little bit of money.
Exactly. Any other final thoughts about this episode, Zach, before we move into our next segment?
No. I think that is it. Oh man, we have to say who wins. Well, I mean, I know who wins the episode, but who the fuck else is gonna sit on this?
Well, thing? I don't know. What are you talking about, Zach? You're talking about who be thrown. Oh, that's not the wrong one. Who be thrown? I gotta get rid of that one. I clicked the wrong thing. It's who be thrown in. Where we last left off 87 years ago. Littlefinger had taken our top spot, followed by Jon Snow at 2. Mance Rayder, even though I'm pretty sure he died in that episode, at 3. Stannis at 4, and Varys at 5. Man, it's been so long. I don't know.
Dude,
what
that
is
episode
happening.
was.
That's true. I do. Okay, we were struggling to find anyone.
We
for that
were.
episode, weren't we?
We
Yeah.
were.
Okay. Let's go ahead and pull Littlefinger down. Or maybe not, actually. He kind of dunks on Brienne pretty hard. Mance Rayder is dead, so he's definitely gone. Varys, was he even in this episode? Gone.
I don't think so.
Stannis, maybe, I guess. Okay.
Undisputed, John top spot, right?
Well, I have a thought.
It's not gonna work.
Where would Jon be without one Sam?
I get what you're saying, but no.
Sam single-handedly got him elected and minced Janice Slint while he was at it.
Yeah, but who would Sam be standing up for if Jon was not around? Like, it's because of Jon, because of who he is. And I don't care who the fuck determined the election, Jon won.
All right. Fine, but Sam is 2. Agreed?
Sam is 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'll
I knew
shake-
that you were gonna. You always petition for Sam, dude. Every chance you get, and you're
Sam.
like, "Hey, hear me out," and I'm like,
Hear me
"Okay,
out,
here-
though.
here
Listen,
we
though.
are."
Hear me out. All right. Jon is 1. I'll shake to that. Sam is definitely 2.
Okay.
Who else did things? You know who? I don't know if he's on here, but you know who I also want to put forth is one Barristan the Bold.
Ooh.
Has he been
I
on the
agree
list
with that.
before?
I do agree with that. I
think
feel
he
like
has.
he's been on the list before. No?
I'm not seeing him.
All right, I'm gonna let you figure that out.
Yeah, let me figure
for
this
all of
out.
you listening and or watching, do us the honor of going and visiting
yeah.
us on Twitter and Instagram, and hitting up our Discord. You can find us at We Don't Wanna Pod. Come hang out with us. It would definitely mean the world. You guys can stay up to date on the happenings of the podcast, you know, whether we're posting updates on new episodes or notifications if we're going to be delayed or anything like that, like how we did the past couple weeks. Just stay informed, stay in the loop. We do still have merch available. You guys can find the link in the description box of this episode. We've got hoodies, got sweatshirts, we've got tees, tank tops. Scotty Westside has a really bitchin' tank top, the Party Skelly tank top. That thing is
True. Thing
pretty
goes
fucking
hard.
rad. So yeah, do the goddamn thing and go visit us. And you can always shoot us a DM or an email if you would like to join the Discord and come talk some shit with us. That'd be awesome.
Good
Look, right on
timing,
time.
Zach. Well done. Boy, that's the cleanest we've ever done that. Who else are you thinking besides my guy Sir Barristan Selmy over here? Right?
Yeah.
Arya? She gets in. Listen, she threatens those dudes, and she does get into
Can we do
the House of
Sansa
Black and
because
White.
she's hot?
Absolutely not.
But why?
No. Better like what?
Better like why? Oh man.
Definitely not Cersei. I'd have to find Uncle Kevin with an A, so I'm not gonna say. Stannis or not Davos, as much as I would like that too.
No. See, I honestly don't even know that Stannis makes this list.
I don't know.
He got
either,
fucking
but
denied, man.
Yeah.
He's just there.
So what about Littlefinger? Do you think our other 3 are Barristan, Arya, and Littlefinger then? Is there like anyone else?
Is Littlefinger even in this episode?
Yes, he dunks on Brienne a bunch, remember?
Oh, right. Okay. I mean, Pod
We're
does
not-
throw a rock really well.
True. Where's Podrick Payne?
No,
My fucking guy. Just throw a rock really well.
Do we say Daenerys because she's actually taking advice? She finds Drogon.
We did give her. Yeah, but he leaves immediately. We did give
Yeah,
her.
but he's checking in. He's checking. Hey,
He's
mom, I'm
checking
here.
in with mom. Hey, thought I'd give you a courtesy call. All right, I'm
gonna be home late.
I'm gonna go do drugs with my friends.
You go do some hood rat shit with my friends.
I'm gonna fly off to Valyria and do some hood rat shit.
Man.
I don't know, dude.
Okay, I do. Okay, the more I think about it, I do think Dany makes the list.
Do we think Brienne? We dunk on.
No,
Brienne
she got.
a lot.
Okay, if we're gonna put Littlefinger because he dunked on her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She kills a bunch of dudes though, and to her credit, she was right about like Littlefinger can't be trusted. I don't know.
Do we put Aemon?
Ooh, what for breaking
For
the tie
laughing.
and for laughing?
Yeah,
at
for breaking the tie and laughing at
I mean,
Janos.
listen, you know I will take any excuse I can to put Aemon on the list. That's my dude. That's my dude, Aemon.
You know what I think is interesting is that spoiler alert, there's no Bran in this season.
Oh, true.
And that should be a good thing. Well, I mean, it is a good thing. Let me clarify.
Yeah, but the season's still not good.
But it's still fucking rough, dude.
True. I don't. So Barristan goes 3 then, since we're having so much trouble deciding
I'd agree with that.
between some of the others. I think Barristan goes 3.
I do think Dany.
I'll shake to Dany.
And I kind of feel like Littlefinger after Dany.
Yeah,
He's got his claws deep into Sansa.
he does have his
and-
claws super deep into Sansa. You think he beats out like Aemon was obviously a joke.
Yeah, I mean that was a joke.
You
Yeah,
think he beats out Arya? Because Arya is the other one I feel somewhat strongly about.
You know what? I would shake to Arya. Okay, so like this is not just. Remember, we always have to remind ourselves this is not just position and what they're doing. Like this is also interest and like. I mean,
true.
She definitely is pulling some weight in this
and she
episode,
furthers
so.
her goals. Man, I almost think Littlefinger and Arya over shocker Daenerys. Shocking.
I feel like the position
literally
thing
no
does
one.
hold some weight on Daenerys.
Okay, so you think
I think Arya.
Arya over Littlefinger? All right,
Yes.
I'm totally fine with that.
And at this point, we don't truly know what Littlefinger's doing yet.
True. He does dunk all over Brienne though, and it's pretty funny. But I'll acquiesce. I think that's totally fine. All right, so that leaves us with the new Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, one Jon
998th Lord Commander.
That's my guy as number 1. The Ravager, Sam the Slayer, at number 2. Getting Jon elected. Barristan Selmy being just a great counselor to Dany at number 3, and just a stand-up dude. Daenerys, to her credit, listening to him and showing a little bit of personal
and
growth.
listening to the rest of the council.
At 4, and Arya, listen, she killed that pigeon real good. And so that puts her.
And she had a banger line.
And she had a banger line.
And she got into the House of Black and White.
And she got into the House of Black and White. She sat in the rain and recited her list. So, you know, she's making a list. She's checking.
She earned it
a billion times. She earned it big time. And Sir Pounce, of course, always and forever in our hearts. That'll do it, I think, for this episode. Zachy boy, you got anything else?
Well, yeah, we need to give a rating.
Oh, right, true.
And then yes, I do have a small little tidbit and announcement for the listeners.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we rate these versus other Game of Thrones episodes.
Versus the quality of Game of Thrones episodes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
In that case, 5.5.
Oh. Really?
What, too high? Too low?
You think this is an average Game of Thrones episode?
5. Yeah.
I'm gonna say 4.5.
Ooh, okay, damn. All right.
Yeah, this is by no means an average Game of Thrones episode.
You're probably right. I really like the wall stuff, though. Like I said,
do, sure, yeah.
the wall stuff is hard carrying. But anyway, what's your thing, bud?
So I just wanted to share with all of our listeners that if you guys are fans of Harry Potter and the Half Drunk podcast, Sam Loose, hanging loose, and I will be doing a little shindig, little spin-off podcast for some bullshit, more of a banter cast. We're looking at launching early next year. We'll put up some more details on that, but I just want to put you guys in the know. Probably going to be a very sporadic posting schedule, maybe once or twice a month, if even. But yeah, if you guys are interested in hearing us shoot the shit and not have a defined skeleton, I guess, or outline of what we should be going over, that could be fun. Come hang out when you guys see the details. I'm sure you guys can check our socials for that. So,
hell
do
yeah,
the damn thing.
Wow, news to me. No, I'm just kidding. I knew. Zach
Scott's
is leaving me.
Oh, I quit.
Yeah, oh, what the hell, bro? Come on. No, I'm kidding. We're still going for now anyway. That's gonna do it for season 5.
Well, no, we're gonna do
2.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. Right?
Oh, fuck off. Fuck right the hell off with that. This has been season 5, episode 2, The House of Black and White. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Go do all the stuff. Zach went over that already. I'm not doing it again. We will see you next time.
Bye.